Hello, everyone. Welcome to the SavvyCast. This is Jamie, and I'm thrilled that you're joining today, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening to the podcast. I have a return guest that everyone loves, and everyone loves her anyway on Instagram. I have Meredith Mann, the Peachie Spoon, and y'all, she's just the cutest thing ever. And I just love having her on. She's so savvy. And Meredith, how many, and you've been on before. Thank you for coming again. I know you're
Thanks
busy.
for having me. I love it. This is so fun. I love chatting with you.
Yes. I mean, Meredith, you have just blown up. You've got, my goodness, how many, roughly how many Instagram followers do you have now?
Oh, goodness. 240 something, I think.
Wow.
1,000, I think. Something like
And
that.
Meredith, I have to say, it's followers are not what matters. It's engagement. And you have both. You have fabulous engagement. Your people love you. They trust you. And you are doing a great thing. And I could not be more proud of you or happy to have you on. And I am excited. Now, I've had you on before, so I've asked you the icebreaker question, but it was a hot minute since you've been on. So I'm going to ask you the icebreaker question again. What would you choose as your last meal?
Could have changed too. Let me think.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely like a really good mac and cheese, like a Southern, like
Mm.
you, because sometimes they're not as good as others. But mac and cheese, watermelon, and probably a burger.
Where's your favorite burger in Birmingham?
Oh, goodness. I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm not, it's somewhere downtown.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're, yeah, there's a place downtown Zane talks about all the time, but I can't make the best burger, so I love to eat burgers out. But Meredith, I wanted to have you on because I got a copy of your book, of your cookbook, and I just want to tell everyone who trusts my opinion, you must get this cookbook. And I'm going to say this, and I don't want to give myself too much credit, but if I were to write a cookbook, this is a healthy version of a cookbook that I would write. This is the kind of food that I love, that I prepare, but I see there are a few things in each recipe that I need to do differently to make it optimal and blood sugar balancing. And I'm super excited. I saw your chicken tetrazzini, which on my blog, that's one of the most popular recipes. And I saw your recipe and I'm like, this is very similar, but hers, I need to follow some of her tweaks and mine will be blood balancing. So kudos to you for hitting a chord of just food that can be celebratory, family friendly, kid friendly, but blood sugar friendly. You have struck a perfect balance.
Oh, thank you, Jamie. Yeah, it's funny. It's almost like I love to create recipes. I don't love to cook that much. So I like them to be easy and like something I could make on a weeknight. But it's almost like this game because like I have to like add up the macros and I'm like, oh, I knew it would be good. Like I just like my goal is to do healthier ingredients, but also it has to taste good so you can just cook once and the whole family can enjoy it. So yeah, so it's been really fun to make those recipes. And I haven't shared them, I can't wait. All these about like 80% of the recipes in that new book are book exclusive. So they won't ever be on my website. I won't ever put them on Instagram. Like that was part of the book contract. So I'm excited to get all these recipes out there and I need to make them too. I haven't made them.
Well, I've already written up. I mean, it's already becoming tattered, but that's the way I use my things. I use them and I've already got all these little scribbles and I want to ask you about some. But first, I want to say thank you for having so many party type recipes that will feed a crowd. I think that's great. Is your family, do you have a picky eater or does your whole family love everything you make pretty much?
No, I mean, no, that my kids definitely were like, no, I call them nugget kids. I fed them not healthy stuff too early and they ate nuggets for years and goldfish and what, I mean, but they're all teenagers now with bigger appetites, especially the boys. So, but they don't always love the same thing, but they are great at like pivoting and I can just throw on a frozen burger or they can fix themselves something else if they don't love what I cooked. But for the most part, I try to cook things that everybody will eat because it feels like a waste of time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now your boys are in high school?
Yes, I have all three in high school now. So I have a senior, a sophomore, and then a daughter that's a freshman.
Oh my goodness. And that's awesome. I think, and you're in Vestavia, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so funny. One of my twins, I have the twins. One of them sees you at church, says, I saw Peachie Spoon at church today in the bathroom or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the other one sees you in the neighborhood. She lives in Vestavia.
Oh,
So I saw
okay.
Peachie Spoon walking and I'm like, well, stop and talk. And she's like, she won't know who I am. Anyway, it's so cute when I saw
I
Peachie
love it.
Spoon.
Yeah, the
But
one I talked to at church, I'm like, "I love your mom." Yeah, it's like, I love when people come up to me, that's fun, and say
no, it's cute.
something.
I want everyone to know about the one thing I love about this book is you at the very beginning, the first two chapters, it may even be the first two, you dedicate to getting down to the nitty gritty of macronutrients and the why behind, balancing your blood sugar. And I will say, I probably would have skipped right over all that and gone straight to the recipes had not my husband, who looks like he could be on the cover of a fitness magazine. He's very muscular. He's pre-diabetic.
Mhm.
And the minute we heard that, all of the things changed about being aware and you were one of the first that I thought of because that is your mantra, blood sugar balance. And that will alleviate or get rid of those problems that are so destructive. Why did you, and I know you explained it, your personal story, but can you just tell everyone what led you to the point of saying it's about blood sugar and about balance, and this is why?
Yes, well, blood sugar balancing was life-changing for me. So, I was diagnosed with hypoglycemia. It was when I was a newlywed. It was like 2005, and so that was the first time I ever heard a doctor say, "You need to if you're ever gonna eat a piece of cake, you gotta eat protein first." And so that was that first time I heard that, the emphasis on protein, and so, of course, I didn't always do that, but
Mhm.
I just never felt good. I'd have these drops in the afternoon, like a blood sugar crash situation that would make me have these intense carb cravings, which that sometimes led to like almost bingey stuff. Like I just wasn't eating enough early in the day and I didn't know I was playing nourishment catch up. Plus, the not enough protein at breakfast. Plus, my blood sugar crash just led to these pantry raids most afternoons when the kids were little. And so I didn't have a healthy relationship with food either. So I also was having like anxiety and migraines and all of this. And once I really figured out the balancing my blood sugar consistently with these easy meals and this gentle plate structure that I came up with, it just made it easier. And I like slowly reversed my hypoglycemia symptoms. And then also my insulin resistant. I was pre-diabetic also. So even though I ate really healthy, I ate Whole30, but it's still, that wasn't the missing link. It was the blood sugar balance where really all foods fit. It's not like, a good food, bad food list. It's just a gentle plate structure with emphasis on protein and fiber and these simple recipes. And over time, I just reversed my blood sugar issues and felt amazing. And so that's when I started my Instagram and I was like, everybody needs to know. Everybody, because I don't think a lot of people don't feel good. It's super common. Blood sugar issues are super common in America just because, the food pyramid is what we've learned. And that can give us those American diseases that are inflammatory and stemmed from blood sugar issues. So it was kind of before blood sugar was as popular as it is
Yeah.
now. I've
Yeah.
always had blood sugar issues since I've been an adult.
When you, I know I saw on your Instagram, this is probably long ago, where you were doing a glucose monitor do you recommend for people who are just getting started with blood sugar balance and all of this, even if they have all your recipes, but to use a glucose monitor, or do you think most people can just start making the changes and it'll gradually work itself out?
It can be helpful. They last a CGM you put on your arm and they last 2 weeks. So if you even just did it once, I think it can be super helpful and eye-opening because it's individual data that your body's given you in real time of what certain foods affect you and how meals affect you. So you might think this is a really healthy meal and you spike up really high and have the crash, and that's inflammatory and not helping your overall health and well-being over time. So that it can be nice, but I do always say, but all that stuff is extra. You don't have to, you can balance your blood sugar and not have all the data. You don't have to. But I know some people just love, the watches, the rings, all the data, and that's great. So if you're one of those people, you could try it once, twice, and learn a lot from yourself and then tweak from there. But at first, I didn't have a glucose monitor until I started my Instagram and they sent me one. So, but then I've been wearing one on and off for 4 years now, and I've tested all my recipes with one. Just so I can say that, So
That's amazing. So all of your recipes you tested with your glucose monitor.
Yes. So I take breaks because it gets to be a lot. 'Cause you have to scan it and put your food in and all that stuff. I take breaks a lot, but it can be neat to and eye-opening to see. But But honestly, I feel like blood sugar, it's important to keep it stable more often. But also, it's totally normal and no big deal to have spikes and crashes and enjoy, ice cream and desserts and not think about blood sugar too. I mean, it's not like damaging to have that happen once or twice
Right.
here and there. But it's when this daily thing that you don't realize, like maybe you're having overnight oats with maple syrup and all this and banana mixed with it and all this, and you think it's healthy because you might be adding a little protein powder, but that's a lot of carbs at once. So that's where seeing the data on a glucose monitor can be helpful and just tweak these recipes. And that's where, like with mine, I have recipes with oats, but like they're always half a serving of oats. Like I can't, like, because the whole serving of oats, even paired with fiber and healthy fats and protein, that spikes me. So that's where I really tested these recipes to be more blood sugar friendly. But yeah, I think that answered it. So
yes,
it's
absolutely.
optional.
And Meredith, I'm gonna say I do not take lightly the work that it takes to do, because I've not done a cookbook, and the thought of doing a cookbook makes me want to crawl into a hole. I'm so glad to have wonderful cookbooks like yours to look at and use and avail myself of. I want to start, and if you jump in at any time, first of all, what's your favorite? Like, if you had to poll your family and you said, okay, your favorite recipe from my cookbook collectively, what would it be?
I think what all my kids will eat and love, love, love is the balanced meal chili. They love it. I made it last night.
Okay, that's the one. I've got it.
And I was gonna say,
yeah.
oh my gosh, I don't even know it's in there. That's embarrassing. I think it's in there.
No, I have it. I have it down. Well, was it the only one? I folded it back. Is it the only chili recipe in here?
Yes, it would be the only chili.
Okay.
Because I was allowed to add like some recipes, and so I tried to add my most popular ones into that. But the rest are new.
Okay, the buffalo chicken chili or the
No, that's
other
not it, but they do love that one. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I plan to make some of these for small group. You have, I mean, such yummy rosemary pot roast, chicken broccoli bake. Now that's one I'm going to be making like for small group. This to me looks like a healthy version of chicken divan, which
Yeah.
I believe that's an endangered recipe. Like growing up, and when I was at Auburn, if we made a nice meal for our boyfriend or whatever, we always made chicken divan. You don't really see that much anymore. So this, I'm surprised. Where did the inspo for the chicken broccoli bake?
I just love, and my whole family does love that one. So, and I just love a one pot, throw it in the oven, easy. But I just a basic like chicken and rice kind of thing, I think is great. And I tried to add, it's like half mostly cauli rice, but there is some real rice in there too. And I think that helps like hide so that the kids will eat it too. And it's not like just cauliflower rice. Like that's where I try to keep the balance to where it's like rice is allowed. I'm like all foods fit, and you can still keep your blood sugar stable, but it has to be yummy too. So yeah, I don't know if my kids would like it if it was only cauliflower rice.
Now, I saw something and I consider this a hack and I think it's great. And it's only a cup in this whole casserole, organic white minute rice.
Yeah.
Is that like 1 minute in the microwave?
Yes, it's easy. Yes, that's what I do. Yeah. Just because
you know why I love that? Because who wants to go to the trouble to make rice to then put in a casserole?
Right, because then you're getting another pan dirty. I know. So I just buy like the little microwavable cups, the minute rice, and like I think they're a half a cup piece. So I just microwave 2 and dump it in.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Now, I also got the tip of the century from this recipe. It may be other places. I've always wondered this. So now it's solved. You said while that's cooking, you're cooking the broccoli. Place cottage cheese in a blender, blend on medium speed until smooth. I usually blend the whole container and pour it back into the container for storage in the fridge. Oh my goodness. Now that's a big deal. When I do, well, actually, I hate blending cottage cheese so much. I've just been dumping it in everything because curds don't really bother me, but it looks so much better and probably comes out better when it's blended. I didn't know you could store it blended. That is awesome.
It's so easy because then, yeah, like there's cheesecake recipes or single serve fun stuff like that, and you can just use a little bit of it at a time. But a lot of people are texture, do not like that cottage cheese texture. So it's really hard to blend just a little bit at once in the blender. But if you buy a huge container, blend the whole thing. I'll even buy the Costco Daisy, like the huge one, blend it, pour it back, and it's like, then you can turn it into a sauce or add it to all sorts of stuff.
I love that. And so you get the big one at Costco. Okay, that's good. I'm not going to buy a bunch of good culture to put in things like that. I mean, I think Daisy's great anyway.
It is. It's great ingredients too. Now I love Good Culture. It's really creamy and delish, but
Yeah, they're both
um,
good, but
yeah, the Daisy's
for-
fine.
yeah. So that was a great tip. Okay. Can you tell me, I've jotted some things down. I love that you have a protein pimento and cheese. Now, growing up in the South, I've got the Dukes and the this and then that. Does your protein pimento and cheese tell us what it tastes like?
I mean, it's good. I mean, I feel like it's a good, of course, it's not like the classic if you love mayonnaise, but I mean, I feel like it hits the same to me. It fills the square. I love a healthy swap. It doesn't look the same because there's cottage cheese in it, but you can also blend that cottage cheese. But there's cheddar cheese too, so it mixes in. But it's delish. And I think there's like 30 grams of protein in a cup. And this is where like I love pimento cheese, but like I feel my best eating high protein and that keeps my blood sugar stable. So like just having pimento cheese, regular pimento cheese for lunch, it's just the protein in the cheese, which might be like 7 grams, and it's
Yeah.
mostly fat, which is not a big deal. I mean, all foods can fit, but it's more of a fat source, and we still need a protein source. And who's eating a piece of grilled chicken with their pimento cheese?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna come up with one. But it's funny because that's a really old recipe. Like I've been sneaking cottage cheese into stuff for years, and I feel like cottage cheese is very trendy now, and I feel like it's a thing.
Yes, and I love, and you know what? I've been putting it in my turkey taco meat, and I thought, I've discovered something great, but people, you've been doing it so long. A lot of people have. It lends such a rich, yummy flavor.
I love it.
So, so I'm going to try your protein pimento and cheese. Now, I do have to ask you, what is your favorite cheese? Do you shred it off the block?
I am a little bit lazy girl, and so I'll just buy the package. But it is so much better to shred it off the block. I know at Christmas I shred it off the block, and Thanksgiving I shred it off the block because it does taste better. So yeah, so I mean that would definitely take it up a notch.
Yeah, and I still do. Listen,
Yeah,
life, we're busy. It's fine. We're not going to die if we have to, buy the shredded. And I will say, I have found that I think Trader Joe's shredded, most of their pre-shredded cheese does not look like it has the coated stuff.
yeah, that powdery stuff. It is gross. I love Trader Joe's. I need to keep that in mind.
Yeah,
It's
I bought like
on the list.
5 different shreds and I looked it up and they all looked great. But you use a lot of Greek yogurt and you're subbing that for mayo and sour cream, or mostly mayo?
Usually both, and it's just to tweak the fat and make it a little bit, just get the healthy fats from like the meat source or whatever. Like most of the recipes are still balanced, but it's just a matter of tweaking the fat. So I do a non-fat Greek yogurt or low-fat cottage cheese a lot of the time.
Okay. So you get the non-fat Greek, you don't get the full fat.
I do, just because usually if it's like a yogurt bowl or something, I'm adding peanut butter for flavor. Like I would just rather, but that's where it's personal preference with like, what's your favorite healthy fat, So that's why I did the low fat or non-fat Greek yogurt with the pimento cheese, because there's healthy fats in that cheddar. That's your fat source. So just to tweak the fat to be more moderate and have that protein really a higher number.
Got it. Okay. And it looks fabulous, your taco casserole.
Yes. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I've made that one again recently because all 3 of my kids love that one, and it's super simple.
Okay. I mean, this is so easy. Okay. And I don't know, I'm just going to ask you, because I see 2 to 4 low carb tortillas. Have you tried the Hero?
No. And it's funny, on Instagram, I had a follower send me those yesterday and was like, these are the best.
They're insane.
Okay.
2 slices of their bread. Each has 12 grams of fiber. So you're getting 24 grams of fiber in one sandwich. And they have the tortillas. I had something with them yesterday. So that would even, I think, add a little more fiber. And this already has 9 grams of fiber. Yeah, this dish looks amazing. And I love how in your pictures you show it with the sides, what you would put with it. So it's so helpful. You've got several tuna recipes: tuna quesadilla, tuna casserole. Tell me, do you have a favorite tuna?
I do. I like to get the ones that are like the lower in mercury. I try to get the safe catch. I usually just get it at Costco, but that's my go-to. I try to, but sometimes I get chicken of the sea.
Yeah.
But I do love that. I think, safe catch. And there's another one that's great just because it's tough.
Wild Planet?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
okay.
Those 2 are my go-to. Tuna's such an easy protein when you're low on groceries, because I think might be in the lunch chapter, there's tuna cakes, there's, a tuna quesadilla. Like those are super easy.
Yes, yes. Now, where do you stand on, because I have not seen any, I haven't been through the whole, where do you stand on Whole30 and the change in seed oils and all that. What's your take on that? Where do you stand personally with what you feel comfortable with seed oils for yourself?
Yeah, so I think, everybody's personal wellness without obsession is individual. So, like, it just depends on you. And because I think it's really important to have a healthy relationship with food too and not be scared of food. So,
Mhm.
for me, I had a horrible relationship with food when I did Whole30 because it was good food, bad food, and I had food guilt, and that was living in bondage and all the stuff. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I've moved on from that. But with seed oils, restaurants use them because they're cheap. And so for me, I try to avoid them as much as I can in my home with my own cooking, and then just don't sweat the small stuff and enjoy restaurant. And don't worry about saying no oil or going crazy with that kind of stuff. But honestly, if it's like low down in the ingredient list, it's not that much. It's just not that big of a deal. So I am pretty relaxed on that. I just my personal wellness without obsession. Sometimes I'm cutting corners. Like, for example, I like low fat dressings because I'd rather have like cheese or a burger or, peanut butter or chocolate for dessert as my healthy fat. So like dressings, I buy low fat dressings. One of them's Bolthouse Farms. It's not expensive. There's like 1 or 2 grams fat. It tastes good, but there is like soybean oil in that, but it's way low down. There's barely, it can't be that much oil. There's no fat in the dressing. So, that kind of stuff, I just don't sweat it. And that's just my go-to. But I know it's individual and people have convictions, and it's, feed your family what you want to feed your family. But it's helpful for me to just not obsess.
I love that. I love the balance and the non-obsession because you can make your life miserable and everyone around you if you nitpick every single thing. And I do think that your recipes all look so healthy, but I love your balance and I just
Thank
love
you.
that it's all done.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
there's not
but
seed oils in my cookbook or anything, but also,
that, that,
but,
that right, right.
but mental health matters too. So if you're actually really debilitated, like if you are stressed about that kind of stuff, it's like, well, is that healthy? Because stress is the
Right.
big stressor. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
well, how do we find this balance in this gray area of having power and knowledge and knowing what food is nutritious for us, but also in the same breath, not overthinking and stressing about what we put in our
Right.
mouth.
Right. As we're nearing the holidays, which I think this is a great book to buy before the holidays and even as a gift for the cookbook lover, what would you say if somebody buys your cookbook? What's the perfect, everybody's coming over, maybe not Thanksgiving Day, but you've just got a lot of friends coming over before Thanksgiving. You just want to feed them a good meal, make ahead. What's your favorite recommendation out of the book?
Any like slow cooker kind of thing, but
Mhm.
also if you're having, family in town for the holidays, my balanced breakfast casserole, nobody knows that it's lightened up. It's real low fat, and there's no carbs, so you can actually like have that fun cinnamon roll or whatever Christmas morning, or it's much more balanced. It's high in protein and just moderate fat, and so it's a great way to like serve that. I have it every year, Easter and Christmas, and like I said, nobody can tell. It just tastes like a regular breakfast casserole, and that's super helpful so that you can still feel your best and enjoy all those fun, high fat, high carb holiday foods with it. And it
Right.
helps just to be a little bit more balanced and not feel terrible. But yeah, I love that. The balanced breakfast casserole. That's a big one for the holidays. But yeah, there's the veggie sides. Some of those are great. You could do in addition to, your sentimental, not so healthy Thanksgiving stuff. You could throw in a couple healthy veggie sides to go with, just for some people that might like that. So some of those are really good. I think there's like roasted carrots and
Yes,
there's some
roasted carrots with thyme. Those look
yeah.
so good. This covers everything. You have so many wonderful, healthy smoothies in here. And that leads me to you have a protein powder. I saw like all the stuff on your Instagram. Tell us how that came about, what flavors, and of course, we'll link in the show notes to where they can get it.
Yes, I'm so excited. It's launching September 17th. I don't know when this episode is launching, but it has been like over a year in the making. I love high protein. It makes me feel good, but I also don't crave meat and eggs at every single meal. So I love to supplement with a high quality protein powder at one meal a day. I also love to throw it in my baked goods. So I love a smoothie or my warm cauli bowls or my balanced oats or baked oats, that kind of stuff as one meal a day. That's kind of part of those smoothies were life changing for me in my afternoon cravings and crashes and all that kind of stuff. So since my family, my husband does the same, and my kids love a smoothie, I was like, do we really know what's in all these? It kind of makes me nervous because it is a powder and it's a supplement. So I was like, I want to make my own. So we did a lot of research. I found a manufacturer in Santa Barbara, California that would do the ingredients that I wanted. It's been this really long journey with lots of samples back and forth. to find like the just right taste and like changing out the sweeteners and all of that. So I'm super excited. And I went with a grass-fed whey isolate, and there is 25 grams of protein per serving. But I went with that because isolate is virtually lactose free. So even, I mean, it still has dairy, but it's easier to digest. But I left out the gums and the lecithins and all that that's in those emulsifiers that can be gut disruptors. And since me and my family are eating this daily, and a lot of people, I wanted to just make sure that it was like still gut friendly and all of that. But I really did the 25 grams of muscle building protein too. Like there's no collagen added in. It has that complete amino acid.
The complete protein.
Yeah, the leucine's really higher than anything else with the whey isolate. So I just wanted to simplify for us ladies that are losing muscle and perimenopause, menopause, all the things. Muscle health is so important. So that protein, I know. So I'm excited, and it tastes good. So I have chocolate and vanilla is what I'm starting with, but I would love to eventually have really fun flavors and have a bunch. But we're starting with chocolate and vanilla, and it launches September 17th. It'll be on my website, and shortly after it'll be on Amazon too.
Oh, okay. I can't wait to buy mine. I mean, I'm going to get both flavors. I think that sounds, because I mean, watching your Insta is so fun. And
thanks. It means a lot.
So it's so nice to have and how do you get with someone? I mean, like you said, it took about a year. And you're in California, so a lot of back and forth. And then one day it's just like, this is it. I mean,
and the chocolate from day one, that one was perfect. But it's funny, the vanilla had like a weird odor. Like I was like, it doesn't smell like, I smell everything. So like you open a bag, I smell it. And so I was like, there's something off. And it ended up being the monk fruit, which is crazy because that's the sweetener I wanted to use because it's a great natural sweetener, but it had a funny smell. So I swapped to a stevia. But that one's natural too and great. So, like it was kind of trial and error, but I'm super happy with the finished product, and it's third-party tested for heavy metals and molds and impurities, and that's all extra cost. But I'm like, we are, testing each small batch. Like I want it really a high quality premium product so that you have no like convictions or guilt about like having to every day.
To do it every day. And is it shipping from California?
No, it is here. So we have it here. We are shipping it. It's like a family business.
Oh, do you have a storefront or like a
yes, we've got some space.
Warehouse?
Yeah. So we're shipping it out. I'm excited. Yeah.
I love that. Oh my goodness.
It is here. We're ready to sell it. It's here sitting here ready.
Hey, we need to do a tour of it and just show how everything works. Are you making it here or it's just the finished product?
The finished product's here. So yeah, it's manufactured and packaged and all that in California.
That's so amazing. Well, everyone buy because we all need it. I mean, I am I try every day to get at least 100. It is hard to do that without a protein powder.
I think it is too. And you can even put a scoop in a coffee and use like a hand frother and it froths great. So there's ways, and there's 25. If you don't want a smoothie, there's ways to get it in there.
Yeah. I cannot fathom eating that much chicken, egg, meat. I mean, so kudos to you for a protein powder. And the vanilla is what you would probably put in the coffee in the morning?
Yes, either way, if you like a mocha. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so either way, super yummy. But yeah, it's been a journey, and we've learned as we go. I don't know what I'm doing, but we're learning as we go, and it's been great. So.
You're an empire. That is great. You're such a girl boss. I just love it. Is there anything that I have left out? Anything you would like to mention or say? Every single thing is going to be on show notes. Every way to link to you, to your social media, how to buy your book, how to buy the protein powder. But did I leave anything out?
I don't think so. It's all on my website, but I don't do one-to-one consultations anymore. I have a self-paced online course called Well Made Academy. And so that is like, and you have lifetime access, and it's self-paced and that kind of stuff. So I do have that too, which is all like, really breaks down. It's me on video, really breaking down the plate structure and lifestyle tweaks in different seasons of life if you're really trying to support overall health and blood sugar and that kind of stuff. And so that I have that too.
That is wonderful. Well, Meredith, first of all, everyone, I'm giving a shameless plug. This book is amazing. Buy it. It's amazing. I mean, look at all these bent pages. It's great. And kudos to you. Congratulations. And it comes out like the very first of October, 3rd or 4th, but pre-order it and then you'll walk to the mailbox and it'll be there and you'll have so much fun reading it. So
yeah, pre-orders Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and it's like the cheapest price it's going to be is the pre-order. So no point in waiting.
yes, absolutely. Well, Meredith, thank you as always. You're always welcome back anytime. And I just appreciate you so much. And to all of you watching and listening, thank you as well. And until next time, you have a fabulous rest of your day. Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the SavvyCast. If you'll take the time to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, that would mean so much. As always, thank you for listening and have a blessed day.